It's Wednesday, that means it's DeFi review day. Let's take a look at some DeFi charts. So non-NFT charts, potentially posing a problem for liquidity on non-NFT stuff as mania is elsewhere right now. But NFT's still doing quite well from the bottom here. It's up significantly. Patterns are working out as they should. Golden cross is happening. Flowers blooming once again. We're in the DeFi perp range high currently from January to April. We may range in here for another month. We're in the scrum of the volume here. Ultimately, we want to get back above the previous range like we were here. We don't want a distribution top again. We want actual bullish continuation. So this may retrace back down to 88, 8888 maybe, where the 200-day moving average is. Maybe it retests the bottom of the range. Maybe it retests this volume. But where it sits right now is adequate for future bullish continuation. It's not as exciting as a bullish breakout or pending bullish move or potential resolving, whatever. It kind of hit its targets. It hit its measured move targets. And from here on out, it just needs time to reaccumulate as people are taking profit who have been in since the bottom or near the bottom, and new people are sort of rotating in as the range is established. That's kind of what most of these charts look like. TVL is also up significantly, nearing all-time highs, and lending borrowing volume is also very near all-time highs collectively, but definitely all past all-time highs on ETH. So there's a lot of borrowing going on currently, which is both good and bad. But as the range maybe calms down, more people will send their lend back home and rates will come down. Because if funding stays high as we keep going higher, eventually you hit a tipping point where funding takes over as a percentage and the gains slow down and then everything sort of rolls over. So we don't want to see that. Looking at Link on the 3-day, just zoomed way out. This is really just the only roadmap that I care about for Link, price-wise, is this pitchfork, which just establishes a range, 3 points, and if it fits, great. If it doesn't, then don't use it. But to me, this fits pretty well. Sell zone up here, buy zone down here. Currently, we're still below the pitchfork. Using classical techniques, this would be an invalidation of the rate of change of the trend. But I'm hopeful that this will return soon and eventually back to the midline here. So that would be 70 by Q4 sometime and then 100 by end of year. Based on that expectation band, a competitor to Link, just looks like everything else as well. Triple bottom W resolving to the upside with a golden cross coming. All this stuff doesn't really have an identity right now. Everything kind of looks like everything else other than comp and SNX. Everything is moving together. Maker here, same thing, triple bottom, well on its way to its target and or already hit its target. Trend has been bullish the entire time. So this looks fine. Again, it's not exciting. It's not 35% in a day like NFTs are, which is a problem when you're trying to compete for dollars, right? You've got all these DeFi projects competing against each other, and then you've got DeFi competing against every other sector in crypto. Here's comp, which continues to disappoint me with this inverted head and shoulders, cup and handle, and then just kind of doing a bunch of nothing here at the level it needs to break out from. Volume, the VPVR here tells the whole story, really. This is the big level to watch at 480, 485, whatever that is. If it can close a daily above that level, I like 640 plus. Otherwise, it's just kind of stuck in this zone, the limbo doldrums of 400 to 480. But it doesn't look bearish by any means. It just needs to move soon before it starts to roll over more and more and more. What you don't want to see here is any more lower lows. And the fact that it hasn't moved like everybody else has is a bit of an issue. Potentially because this thing sort of skyrocketed early. It came out of the bear market quicker than everybody else and then just kind of went nowhere so far. Looking at Aave, it is working on its move to the upside from the triple bottom W. Has a golden cross above volume resistance, hopefully now support. Looks okay for continuation eventually. You can see how far out of the pitchfork we are here now. And if this gets back in, we're talking 4 digits by the end of the year. But that's a long ways away from getting back into the pitchfork. Uni basically hit its measured move targets from the W here, and it's now stuck between 20 and 30, basically, based on VPVR. Trend looks fine for bullish continuation. Golden cross here. No real volume, no real nothing. Just not super exciting right now. Just needs time. Sushi, golden cross, definitely past its measured move target from the W down here, and probably stuck between 12 and 14. You don't want to see anything lower than the 200 at 10. So 12, 14, 17, probably just going to bounce around those levels till the entire market decides to break ranges towards highs. Curve, unexciting, golden cross pending, volume at this level. There's no, this is just a giant wait and see week because there's nothing here. There's no great entries on any of these charts per se, other than comp and SNX. Everything else has either moved or is on its way to being towards the end of its move. So the risk reward isn't really super great. You could argue the curve targets are a little bit higher here, but this just doesn't look exciting to me at all. BAL, W to the bottom target basically reached, working on a golden cross. It's going to take some time on that. Tons of volume now on the way down if this thing collapses at all, but looks fine for bullish continuation into Q4. September's generally a nothing month for crypto. BNT, triple bottom again. Working on the golden cross over the next month probably. And looks fine for bullish continuation. Not super exciting, but probably does well into Q4. ZRX definitely reaching near its W double bottom target. Broke out of that triple bottom and has a pending bullish cross. You're going to want to see anything above 150. You're basically free and clear for bullish continuation there. 1 inch had this falling wedge that nothing else really had, and that's broken out pretty substantially to the upside. And now it's working on getting back into this range, back above the 200 with a golden cross. This is going to take some time, right? All these charts, they just need time. Give it a month. Wait for something juicier, or just continue holding. Not investment advice, but lots of unexciting stuff everywhere. SNX is one that continues to creep higher on this Adam and Eve. Golden cross pending. Tons of volume resistance at 20. But this, to me, like comp, looks like it should break out to the upside. This looks like it wants higher highs. 12 to 20 is a great trade considering everything else in DeFi is pretty much moved for the most part. Melon on this diagonal support, triple bottom, inverted head and shoulders, ascending triangle, all sorts of stuff potentially here, but all of it should resolve above 120. So anything above 120 on the daily close should mean price discovery to the upside here. And then two other things that are kind of DeFi adjacent. AVAX, just mega moon over the past week. A little bit of volume coming in here. RSI at infinity. Hopefully stuff like this collapsing won't bring down everything with it. Because this probably retraces to 35 in the near term. Just too much too soon. Luna, kind of the same picture, but this chart actually looks much better than AVAX to me. This looks like it potentially wants to flag out here. What I'd be careful of is a M double top. Anything that's any lower low here is a threat for a retracement to 20, but otherwise, if this breaks highs historically, like it did here, very similar type of setup, just on a smaller time frame. You just get this range, right? You're just establishing this range. There's people taking profit. There's other people coming in and deciding to enter. Very similar to this picture where we're ranging. In hindsight, right? Smart money is selling, dumb money is buying, and then this thing explodes. More distribution up here, and then it eventually collapses. So always look for this after a move. You get a mini one here as well, zoomed in. Anytime you establish a range after just some crazy move, it's representative of usually buyers and sellers changing hands. So this looks pretty good for bullish continuation, honestly. Lastly, I'll just mention ETH-BTC fund and DeFi portfolio. I trade for Techemy Capital on Enzyme.Finance, a non-custodial portfolio management solution where you can send ETH or USDC or just watch what I'm doing. You can see everything, including AUM performance, all the allocations here into the various DeFi coins, all the vaults I'm in, the yield-bearing stuff I'm in, and you can see all the trades in the bottom tab as well. That's all for this one. Like, dislike, comment, share, subscribe, and happy trading.